excited to tell you all about the vehicle I'm standing next to. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the brand new CTS-V Series Sport Wagon. It's a fantastic addition to our V-Series lineup. If you're familiar with it, we started off in 2008 remodeling the CTS sedan right in front of me here. Shortly thereafter, we came out with the V-Series version of that sedan. And that's actually the fastest production sedan that's made in the world. So it made sense to really expand the lineup. The 0 to 60 time on that is 3.9 seconds. You've got the same engine in between the two vehicles. That's your 6.2 liter V8 engine there that's supercharged, 556 horsepower, 551 foot-pounds of torque. Once again, 3.9 seconds. Now, if you guys are familiar with racing, you're probably familiar with the track over in Germany, that Nürburgring track. It's actually as hard to win as it is to say. Now, with that, we actually, among some stiff competition, set the fastest time. So that's what gives us the entitlement or claim to say that we are the fastest production sedan that's made in the world. So with those headlines there, it does make sense to expand that lineup. And where you're seeing us expand the lineup here with the CTS and the V-Series there, you've got the coupe right across the way, same specs on that vehicle. And then, of course, coming out fourth quarter of this year, we have the Wagon coming out. And it's really even offering more than you would actually ever imagine. So once again, it's going to be the same engine, that 6.2 liter V8 supercharged engine there. The specs on it, 556 horsepower, 551 foot-pounds of torque, and a 0 to 60 time of just over 4 seconds. So it truly is quite impressive. Now, as you can see with the V-Series, what we do is we give it characteristics that are very signature to that line. And you've got the raised hood here, so it actually fits that supercharged engine. We've got the aggressive style front fascia with the honeycomb grille there. We've got the increased opening, which is actually functional to give you an increased amount of air intake. Now, obviously, you need some amazing brakes, some amazing wheels, suspension behind all of this power, and we certainly have delivered that. You're looking at a vehicle that has the Michelin Pilot Sport PS2 wheels all across the board there. They're 19-inch wheels. You're looking at Brembo braking systems with 6-piston calipers up front, 4-piston calipers in the back, and a vehicle that has the magnetic ride control, which is the fastest reacting suspension system that's made in the world. Let me explain magnetic ride control. It's actually pretty simple to put it in a nutshell. We've got sensors at all 4 wheels that are constantly monitoring the road conditions, and they're adjusting that suspension based on what it's reading. It reads the road 1,000 times in a second, so it's quite impressive. We've taken it a step further. You actually have the option to have 2 different modes. There's the touring mode as well as the sport mode. So if you are looking for a more spirited ride, obviously you want to engage that sport mode. And if you're looking to, we'll say, take a nice cruise to upstate New York, you can have that touring mode and still have a very luxurious feel. Now, being that it is a wagon, you are going to get the best of both worlds here. I'm going to open up all the doors for you. So it not only gives you that performance aspect of the vehicle, it's going to ride and handle just like the sedan, but because it has the extra cargo capacity, it just really, we'll say, increases your versatility and capability of the vehicle there. Now, when you look at the interior of this vehicle, it's really more what's conceptual about the vehicle. We do call this a show car. Although the Wagon V-Series is going to come out fourth quarter of this year, the interior is what's concept. You're going to see the standard interior, which is pretty fantastic. It's on the regular V-Series versions. What we're doing here is we're showcasing the next progression of the Cadillac interiors that you will see in the future in the years to come. So you're looking at Alcantara inserts throughout the entire vehicle on beautiful locations, a fine-grained leather as well as a very unique stitching. Our V-Series, we utilize French stitching throughout the entire vehicle. And this one, they actually have a beautiful dark gray stitching that's done that's very signature to the interior here. You've got microfiber on the steering wheel gear shifter as well as the roof line of the entire vehicle. So it really does, we'll say, make the vehicle look much more luxurious. It really is beautiful. Not only that, You've also got the laser etching, a newer technology that we're starting to use on the front seats. Now the front seats itself, they're actually going to utilize Recaro seats, a 14-way power adjusting seat. So when you're going at those high speeds there, 0 to 60 just over 4 seconds here, you definitely want a vehicle that can keep you in that driver's seat. So that's why you have that Alcantara seat inserts right down the center, because it's nice and grippy. That's why we utilize the Recaro seats with the side bolsters to hug you and keep you nice and snug inside that driver's side seat, so you can drive this vehicle and have a nice sports-oriented feel to it. It is a rear-wheel drive vehicle, and it's also standard as a 6-speed manual transmission. Keep in mind it is optional with a 6-speed automatic that utilizes a paddle shift feature. So that still gives you the opportunity to have that sporty feel and control the shifting process in the meantime. Not only that though, you're going to have a vehicle that gives you all of your comfort and convenience features. You've got a 40 gig hard drive that's available on this vehicle. That's going to allow you to download about 10,000 of your favorite songs. In addition to that, you're looking at the navigation screen there that's colored, 3-dimensional, and not only that, we utilize touchscreen technology, so it's definitely easier to navigate through than some of the toggle systems we've actually seen in the market. We pair that with a camera that we mount on the back of the lift gate here, and that camera really does double as a safety feature. It gives you a great view of what's going on behind the vehicle there. You've got features like audio buffering. This is actually pretty fun to talk about. Audio buffering essentially is like pausing live radio. So we'll say you're watching, or listening to a sports game on the radio. You need to run into the store real quick, not a problem. You return to your vehicle, you push play, that game's going to continue exactly where you left off. So that's how we utilize that feature. Now some of the other things, you've got your optional sunroof here. We're utilizing the panoramic Ultra View sunroof, one of the largest sunroofs available in the industry today, and it does extend back for the rear seat passengers there. So everyone's really getting that open air enjoyment. Now let me pop open the lift gate here. Now as far as the dimensions go, it really is no difference to the base engine here that we have on the floor. So with the rear seats up, you've got about 25 cubic feet of cargo space. You drop those rear seats down, you've got just under 60 cubic feet of cargo space. You can see here it's a 60-40 split fold, and that those rear seats do go completely flat. We've provided you with extra storage underneath the cargo floor, and have gone as far as integrating a track system into the floor as well. So Cadillac sells accessories at the dealerships that work with the track system, like a gate, for example. So no matter what you have in the vehicle, you can always adjust that system and keep those items nice and secure. So it really does, we'll say, enhance the flexibility and versatility of the vehicle. Even your liftgate has a second setting that opens into a 3/4 position. So if you had a low-hanging garage, you would be able to access the back of the vehicle without damaging your liftgate or your garage. So a lot of helpful features have actually been added onto this vehicle as well. Now as far as the design goes, what we're utilizing is called our Art Science Design Philosophy, and that's been very popular with the redesign of the CTS lineup as well as our SRS, and that's that forward-leaning style, the sweeping lines here. So you're definitely going to see that implemented on this vehicle. Another thing that the designers have done, which I definitely think is worth mentioning, is the V. Back in the 30s, Cadillac used to have the emblem, the chevron V. And so that was very popular, obviously, then. And what we've done is incorporated that style into some of our current vehicles here. So you see the rear face of it coming into that V, and that's reminiscent of what we had from our vintage vehicles, as well as the tail lamps. You can see they start at the bumper and extend all the way up to the roof line, that very dramatic style for the tail lamp. So that's another thing that they're just really paying homage to our classic vehicles. And speaking of the roof line here, I always like to point this out. You'll notice the roof rack here has been nicely integrated into the roof line. So that's a nice style about the Wagon here. The fact that it's not designed to be so utilitarian looking, which you typically do find of wagons in the industry. It's a very streamlined and beautiful line slope. So you wouldn't really notice it's here until it's pointed out. That's why I usually do. And it is a functional feature. You can get the crossbars that go along with that. Now obviously, being that it is a V series, you definitely would be riding in style and obviously have some performance behind you there as well. Well, once again, this is the CTS-V Series Sport Wagon. It will be out this year, fourth quarter there. And as far as pricing goes, General Motors has not announced any pricing on the vehicle as of yet. So, unfortunately, I can't give you numbers, but I'm sure it's going to be very competitive in the industry. Now, if you have any questions on any of the products you found on the floor today, my name is Tracy. I'll be happy to answer them. We've got great product specialists on